Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you're watching. This is going to be one of our stories about missionaries. Some of these people that we're going to interview are going to look really familiar to you because you've seen them around church. But the cool thing is their feet have gone out into the world to spread the love of Jesus. So today we're interviewing Bob Parks, who has been a member of the Clearfield Presbyterian Church your whole life. He's got a few years experience on us. And he has gone on multiple mission trips to a very special place, and he's going to tell us about them. So, Bob, where did you go?
Well, we went down to the north side of the Dominican Republic to a town called Jessiasca, which is named after the river which runs through Sabaneta de Asica.
And Dominican Republic is down in the Caribbean, like around where the Bahamas and Cuba and all those islands are, south of the United States. So how did you get there?
Well, we took a 4-hour flight out of New York to get down to the airport at the north rim of the Dominican Republic called Puerto Plata. And from there we went in vans about 40 miles to Sabaneta de Asica, where we were put up in a two-room schoolhouse. There was about 15 of us on the first trip, and we had bottled water all the time. It's so hot down there, you just sweat.
So they had to stay in a schoolhouse, not a fancy hotel, because a lot of the places we go out into the world aren't very fancy. Can you imagine spending the night at your school? Might get a little weird. You said it had 2 rooms in the schoolhouse?
Yes.
That's not a lot of space. What did you do while you were down there?
Well, I did mostly helping Dave Anderson and a few of us to build schools. The school at the pastor's school, he had a elementary school for second 2 grades. That's all the government would leave him. So when we left there, we put second and third floor in that school, and about 5 schoolrooms out over a pavilion. And at that time, he was allowed to have grades 1 through grades 12. His church at that time.
That's a lot of kids. How many kids do you know how many kids went to that school?
Oh.
Was there lots of them?
Lots of them. There's children down there all the time we were there. They was always wanting to talk about the United States. They wanted to know what we do. And the children were just so moved by us being down there.
I'm sure they were very curious. I know we're curious when there are people working on our schools here in America. So when you're watching someone actually build your school, you're probably pretty interested in what they're doing. Now, a couple of our kids, Bob, wanted to know, what did you eat when you were there? Was it hamburgers and hot dogs at McDonald's?
Not at all. We ate what the Dominicans ate and what they cooked. And we had eggs for breakfast and bacon. They raise a lot of pigs down there. And we had a lot of salads and just around about anything you would eat at your table. We had green salads and that's what we would eat down there.
They grow most of their food and raise all the animals they used to get meat from, right?
Correct. And I could reach out the window and get a banana.
That would be fun. I don't think any of us have a banana tree outside our window. I would be thrilled. Were there monkeys? If they're bananas, aren't there monkeys?
No.
No monkeys. So what is your absolute favorite memory from your trips down to the Dominican? How many years did you go?
I went down to the Dominican Republic for 13 years. And Bob and Jan Musler took the first trip down to size it up and see if our church would like that down there. And they come back and said, we would love it down there to help them people down there, which have literally nothing.
That's pretty cool. And that's part of what we're talking about this week with Feet That Follow. Our feet can go out into the world and do amazing things. I know this because I grew up in this church too. They actually took teenagers in the later years down to help run Bible schools and to teach the younger kids.
That's correct. We like for the children that of age that could go down, and they work with the teachers in the schools, and they work with the gathering of the blocks and cement blocks that we would need, and they like what they did down there, and they enjoyed it. I didn't hear anybody hollering about having to work.
Well, the Dominican Republic has been a big part of this church in the past 20, 30 years, and we are excited. I run the youth group here, and we're excited that we are signed up to hopefully go to the Dominican Republic next year, barring the state of the world, of course, because we'd like to rekindle that relationship, and we want to meet the people that our parents and grandparents went down and worked with before. Do you have any advice for future missionaries? Because we got a lot of kids watching that someday might be getting their passport to go somewhere.
Well, my advice is for them to take a lot of mosquito repellent down with you, and you sleep underneath a net all the time, and it's nice to put a little spray on your net because the mosquitoes in that are very big.
They'll carry away the babies. The further south you go, the bigger the bugs go, is what I've been told. Well, thank you, Bob, for coming and telling us a little about the Dominican Republic. I have a bunch of Bob's pictures, so I'm going to scan them and put them on the Facebook page too, so you guys can see exactly where he was and what he was doing. We have lots of photos from the Dominican Republic around the church, so if you're ever curious, you can stop in and I'll show you lots of photo albums. But thank you for joining us today. I'm gonna lose you guys. There we go. Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow.